What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's nice to see you all tonight. Welcome to Sporty Stream, and we got one series for one league tonight. It is the Bucket League. After a couple weeks, I've been able to get a match here for this league, and man, it's such a great match as well. Winner of this match between Astral, Olivett, and Heady Scarf Gang will take that top seed. But you know, for a match this exciting, you gotta share that kind of excitement with other people, and I've got a fun friend with me tonight. I got TommyBuckets, the organizer of the league himself.
Everybody?
How you doing, TommyBuckets, man? I know you've been so hyped before the stream, and that hype, you still have that hype, don't you, coming into the series?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think both of these teams are going to put on an absolute insane show for us tonight. I am super excited. We have a very fast offense from Olivett and a very strong team all around from HSG, and so both of these teams should put on an excellent show.
Yeah, and this is week 6 of the Bucket League. We're nearing the end of the season, and for those of you knowing who may want to know a little bit about how the league is going, this is a 7-team league right now. As that top team, as all the teams will make to the playoffs. By the way, it will. Is it single elimination playoffs? I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, single in playoffs. Top team's gonna get a bye, and matches like these can determine who that top team is. Because I'm sure if you're one of these teams, you would more than ever love to get that bye, not have to worry about going out early in the bracket of the tournament, and more importantly, maybe seeing and scouting out your opponents how they play, because so many teams play differently in the playoffs. And again, it's matches like these that can determine spots.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's definitely a close battle. These top 3 teams are very, very close in points. It's more or less going to come down to their matches won, matches lost. So, you know, I'm super, super excited, and hopefully they put on the show I'm expecting tonight.
Yeah, and do you want to tell us about those top 3 teams and the kind of these top teams and the kind of the spots that they're at currently in the tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. So the number 1 seed right now is sitting with Volition Obsidian, followed by then HSG and Astral Olivett. So they're sitting in a tight, close second and third place. I believe their points are also very close, a matter of 5-point difference. So a win here for Astral Olivett is going to be a really big deciding factor to get them crawling up the leaderboard. HSG trying to hang on with the big dogs, so it'd be exciting to see them get a win here as well. And with that being said, HSG has got some excellent shooters on their team. They got the number 1 accurate shooter in the entire league, and he's dangerous when he's firing. And then on the other hand, you got Astral Olivett, and their passing is probably, I mean, could probably argue the best in the entire league. So it's definitely something hard to deal with. And so far, all teams have kind of really showed a struggling point dealing with that. So maybe HSG is the deciding factor.
Yeah, but all of it have lost in this league. Do you want to talk to me about that loss? Who did they lose to, and what implications does that have for the rest of this tournament? Because no team currently in this bracket has won, has been perfect. Every team in this, out of these 7 teams, has lost at least one series.
Yeah, I believe Astral Olivett took a loss to Obsidian earlier in the season. I think it was a new thing. Obsidian has got some experience competing before, so coming into this, they're definitely going to have a little bit, that team communication is just on another level when you got 3 to 5 guys that play together all the time. So it's definitely exciting.
Yeah.
See what happens, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. And you know, you heard us talk about this, but I want to hear what you all say, and you can do that in one of 2 ways. In fact, you should do it in both ways. In the chat, as well as in the prediction poll out right now. You take a look at these rosters. Hey, Scarf King, one of the many rosters that's playing with 6 players, but Astral Olivett, some interesting stats from this team. They have 4 players on their roster, but as you said to me before we started tonight, only 3 of those players have actually played. Expect Solinalo, S-Class Wizard, and I'm the Bob-Omb to be playing tonight. But on the side of HSG, every one of their players has been involved one way or another in at least one of their series, and they have a lot of options here to mix it up. Heady Scarf King is not afraid to make changes, and to make changes often in a series if they have to. Whereas for Astral Olivett, changes don't come for them. They have a sub, but if they've never had to use them, then what's saying that they might use it tonight? As again, this series, it's exciting because right now the race at the top of this bracket, there are currently, out of the 7 teams remaining, I believe 5 of them are still in contention. That is Volition Obsidian right now in the lead at 4-1, HSG at 3-1, Astral Olivett at 3-1, Volition Sapphire at 3-1, and Northern Aspect Esports at 2-2. And coming into the end of the season, every win matters so much. Winner of this match between HSG and Astral Olivett will bump over Volition Obsidian, take that top spot. The loser will fall behind Volition Sapphire and will go 3-2 in the season, taking that 4th slot. So no matter what, Volition Sapphire will be a 3rd seed, and before they have even played yet, and who knows if that will change some things up. And at the very end, Northern Aspect, they still have their match coming up this week. Every match is important, TommyBuckets. Is there any matches that you want to think about going into the future in this tournament? Because there are some matches in week 7 that are also kind of striking some people as interesting.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is that we got a lot of competition. I think every team has really got a couple players that can put on an absolute display of skill out there on the field. And it makes things really close. In this first season of the league, all teams are going to make the playoffs. So they're definitely at this point fighting for that top seed spot. But outside of that, man, I think they're just having a lot of fun and putting on a show for us all. And I think when we're really going to see things stir up is up in the playoffs. Like I said before, they all have got some players who can absolutely play. And I think you're going to see that a lot of really strong competition as the season closes heading into the playoffs.
And just to add again, Volition Obsidian, they are 4-1. They've already played their match against Volition Obsidian, haven't they? Already?
Yes. Yep.
They've already played their match against Volition Obsidian, you said, right? Yeah, you said Obsidian.
Yep. Both of these teams' loss came to that team in the season. I think Heady Scarf King got a reverse sweep from them.
Ooh. But yeah, Volition Obsidian
Close match, so
yeah. Volition Obsidian also have actually played the match already this week, haven't? Yeah, they have 5 matches.
Yep.
Let me take a look on that. Volition Obsidian, who are they playing next week? Oh no, Volition Obsidian have their last match this week. They're playing McNasty's, and if Volition Obsidian do win that, it's all gonna come down to week 7, where HSG plays Northern Aspect, Volition Sapphire plays Olivett. And that's gonna be
really strong finish.
I'm really looking forward to all of the matches in that last week, because every single one of them has playoff connotations. Every single one of them could determine who wins it. Because let's say that Sapphire this week, they are playing against McNasty's. Sapphire is expected to win that. They'll be going 4-1 coming to next week, and they'll be playing either one of Olivett or HSG. Loser of this, though, gonna have a bit of a tougher time. Northern Aspect has to make some rounds as well. They have to play Volition Obsidian and HSG. If they can upset both of them, then we'll see Volition Obsidian Northern Aspect maybe squeaking a spot, but the real fight, I think, is going to be from all 5 of these teams. But with the assumption that Sapphire is probably going to win this week, they go 4-1. Obsidian's now currently 4-1, ending off Obsidian's 4-1. Sapphire's 4-1. Winner of this will be 4-1. This is a crazy season. We're gonna have 3 4-1 teams, and 2 of them could be, and it could be Olivett and Volition Sapphire playing this week, being 4-1 each, and they would be fighting literally for that top spot. It was literally fighting for that top spot. And that would literally determine who takes that number 1 seed most likely. But that is if Olivett wins. If Olivett loses, and there's some interesting things that come here for Heady Scarf Gang. Really, you must think that whoever loses this series is not going to be able to get that top spot, and is not going to be able to reach that top spot.
Yeah, I think with next week, you've got to get the dub this week to solidify it, because the winner next week, I think, no matter what, is going to get themselves up in the next spot. So yeah. This is this week and next week. I mean, unless the winner to this week loses next week type deal, I mean, then things start getting really spicy. So yeah. Like I said, I am excited, man. There's great players on every team, and I think that's why this is so close.
I expect right now that the top team going into the playoffs will be 5-1 in their record. So if that's true, Winner Aspect would already be knocked out, but loser of this would also find themselves knocked out if my assumption's made correct, and I assume that the top teams will be 5-1. If Olivett wins, I don't believe there's any chance for HSG, because either one of Olivett, unless Sapphire loses, there might be a chance for HSG. But if Sapphire wins as well as they're expected to this week, I believe against, who are they playing against this week? Sapphire's playing McNasty's this week. If Sapphire does win that, they're going to be 4-1. Olivett's going to be 4-1. At least one of them's going to be 5-1. That means that HSG will not have a chance. That means Northern Aspect will not have a chance. And Volition Obsidian will be watching from the sidelines to see if they get that spot. But depending on how well these teams do, they might also not be able to get that spot. This match could literally determine the top seed. I'm not even joking. That's what's on this match. But probably the chance of the top speed, especially for Olivett and HSG. Loser of this, it's going to be so tough for them. Anyways, let's get ourselves going, man. Are you so excited?
I am beyond excited, dude. I cannot wait for these teams, man, dude. There was a couple matches this season that I really wanted to see once I seen the schedule come out, and this was one of them.
Yeah,
I mean, both of these teams are playing very solid ball, and it should prove itself here.
Again, let's get ourselves going. A best-of-5 series, TommyBuckets. And both teams now ready to join. On Olivett, it'll be Solonalo, Baba, Maniscal's Wizard, the same three players as it's always been. And for Heady Scarf King, they're playing with Baltier, Dwarf Balls, and Kaiba. TommyBuckets, take it away. We have game one.
Here they go. HSG winning the kickoff, but gets right back at Astral Olivett.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to kind of respond again, Olivett got signed to Astral a few weeks ago. That signing definitely might have something to do with a very positive outlook in this season. And they're going to have to put all that positivity into this series, because this could prove to be the series that they look back to at the playoffs. And they really analyzed. Because right now, Volition Obsidian, who hold that top spot, definitely shaking in their boots, because one of this will overpass them into the next week, and then there's some real interesting statistics. But again, I'm so ready to see this series. One of this will go 4-1. They'll take that top spot, and they're really gonna make their chances so much easier to make it to the playoffs. Really, as this one for S-Class Wizard, and Olivett take the early lead.
There's that fast-paced offense I was talking about, man. They take shots, the pass off the sidewall. They read them things well, man. They are dangerous.
Yes, of course they are. Astral Olivett with the early lead, and for a team that many wanna, you know, as a stats guy, as a guy who loves hype, Olivett winning this would create the ultimate situation, especially if Sapphire is able to do so. S-Class Wizard just scored again. He's cutting off my point there. Olivett now lead by 2 in game 1.
Another nice passing play already. Astral Olivett is coming out strong. Definitely going to want to see an adjustment from HSG to get out on those passes and start disrupting some of their offense. One thing you don't want to do is let these guys get going, because, as I've said before, their passing is the best in the league.
Yeah, but you also got to talk about the shooting here for Olivett. A great statistic to look at, as they're going to make a great save here. Is that the 3 players that play for this team right now on this field, numbers 1, 2, and 3 in total shots in the league. This Olivett team is a team that likes to shoot a lot, but the accuracy, TommyBuckets, that's going to be the real question. HSG, they have some very good shooters themselves. Dark Balls to get the goal. He wasn't the player I was thinking of when I talked about great shooting, but this is an amazing shot from him. A straight shot, nothing crazy about it. Throws it to the back of the net.
That's something that's really great about HSG is they got a lot of great leaders. Their captain Baldier has got so much knowledge about the game, and they have really been putting in some effort to showcase what they've learned this season. Dartball has come a long way, and man, he is firing on all cylinders. They put him out on the field and give him a lot of opportunities, and he shows out for him. So it's definitely a fun one to watch.
And speaking of HSG, trying to tie this one up, Solonalo hits it to the sidewall. Gonna try to get past Darth Balls. Info for S-Class Wizard. And yeah, a lot of passing you said from this team. Take me through kind of the assists and how it correlates to how much they shoot in this league in total, as Bob can't get the goal here, but it is cleared away. Again, take me through it. You talked a lot about the assists, and you can see the importance of them. You're here for all of it. Take me through kind of what the assists make for them, how strong they are in leading in assists in this league.
One thing that's crazy is they're really confident in letting a player make a play that has the ball. So they're able to throw some pretty spectacular passes, and their teammates trust it, man. They move in a way expecting that the other guy's going to make that touch, and it works smoothly for them. They really kind of like let each other play a little bit, and it opens up so many opportunities. And so far, teams have shown to struggle with it. So HSG keeping it close, but that shot count matters.
Yeah, it does. But again, I'm always more interested in the shot accuracy. You see it, teams like G2 and Ohio Esports, the old G2 at least, have issues with their shooting accuracy when it plagues them. Olivett, a team that could also have that, has become an issue, but as so long as their shooting accuracy is good, they can really put a lot of pressure on HSG. As HSG now have some offense, HSG has been really good at getting offense and then holding it. It feels like all of its offense is just much more split second, much more one shot and out. It seems like they have a lot more difficulties holding that midfield here against HSG. Bob trying to get some midfield themselves. That's one in the corner, but cleared by Kaiba. That's what I'm looking at, all of it. A lot of the players trying to dump the ball into the side and try to chase it. And that will allow HSG to get some control.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about HSG, they definitely play a lot slower, a little bit more methodical than some of these other teams, but it pans out for them because when they take shots, they're on target a lot. Their accuracy is high. They have the #1 shooter in the league, and his defense is right there behind him. So you argue an MVP position. He's not on the field yet. If they bring him out, Bridge 4 is one of the most dangerous players in the league. So that's going to be something exciting to see happen as well if HSG brings him out.
And you know, of all series to really look and see if someone is MVP status worthy, it's this one. Any of the players here could be it, but yeah, you do look at the front runners being Bridge 4 on the side of HSG, maybe even Baltier as well. But on the side of Astral Olivett, Solonalo, it is a huge play to look at. But right now, S-Class Wizard, the MVP of this game for Olivett. They're trying to let the ball drop. Game 1, Baltier, and Darth Balls keep it up. Kaiba trying to challenge, but it's S-Class Wizard to beat him. And S-Class Wizard grounds it. Astral Olivett takes game 1 with a strong showing from S-Class Wizard. And all they needed was 2 goals early, TommyBuckets, but Astral Olivett played some solid defense in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely hung on to that lead. Heady Scarf Gang made them work for it. So you definitely love to see it. And I am so excited for the rest of these matches. I 100% expect a game 5.
Man, I mean, you're expecting a game 5. No, I know. I love the hype that you have in here. Game 5, I would love to see it as well. But you can see Astral Olivett in this game, 7 shots. Take me through. It seems a bit low for Olivett. I know that's surprising because they did win the shooting averages, but that's kind of low for Olivett. They're definitely a team that can shoot a lot more. Feels like this game they're kind of just warming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Warming up, or maybe a strong holding from HSG. Like I said, one of the biggest factors is that Astral Olivett's shot count is usually fairly high, and a lot of teams have some issues getting the hang of that. And it really, maybe Bomb's just getting stuffed a little bit more by the HSG team at midfield. And it is something that they're known for. Their rotations are smooth. They like I said, they like to play a rotational smart game, and it could just be something that's holding Astral Olivett back just a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like they haven't really released their true full potential, but you know, you talked about him last game. You hailed him even though he was on the field. Bridge 4 is here. Let's see what he can do, if he can change the series around for his team. As now on the Aquadome, Olivett once again trying to instate an early lead. So important in series like these, you get that momentum early, because against teams that are kind of your equals, you need every little bit of extra that matters. Solonalo in front for himself, and that'll be a goal here for Olivett. Solonalo to do it. earlier last game was the S-Class Wizard show, but Solo Nalo puts himself on the scoreboard.
What a shot, man. Got the read well in the corner, bounced it off the sidewall, and put it away. Again, the teammate got a nice little, took like a shot opportunity, got stuffed, but it went straight back to Solinalo, and there's a bump at midfield. Big bump for HSG.
So, you want to know who that teammate was? That was Solinalo. Solinalo passed to himself in that play. So Solinalo now, maybe he should be credited with an assist too. I'm sure he'd love to pad his stats. Every rugby player would love to. As HSG, it feels like right now for what they've been trying to do, a lot of these plays, it just feels like they've made great on their pressure, but it just feels like that final third, that shooting hasn't come from them yet. As here from Olivett, their shooting has Bob to score. He had less than 100 points last game. A player that was incredibly silenced, but now out here in game 2, and he's really made himself known and made a name for himself here with this goal.
Another beautiful pass from S-Class Wizard. Like I said, man, they're good at reading each other, and they just trust that somebody sees them, and it pans out, and it opens up a lot of shot opportunities. And I think that's where all those shots come from. They get a lot of shot opportunities that other teams don't see because those passes are there 9 times out of 10.
And to add to that chemistry, I've commentated this Olivett team back in the Indie Gaming League. It was the exact same roster: S-Class Wizard, Bob and Solinalo. Maybe I don't think Simmerprus was on that team. But it's the same starting 3 players for this team. They have so much good chemistry, but here comes Bridge 4 to score the first goal. HSG's had a tough time at the start of Game 1. Game 2 seems to repeat itself, but once again, HSG asked the question, can they tie this one up?
Out of time left. They still got almost 3:40 left on the clock. And that's another thing that I like to bring up about HSG. I mean, they are in a league with 3 teams that have been competitive before, and they are hanging tough in the top of the system. So I am proud to see them come out and play against these teams that have some competitive experience. And I think that goes a long way. Astral Olivett's been passing to each other for a long time, and it's definitely something that teams are going to have to start putting a foot down on as we close out this season.
Yeah, compared to teams like Volition Sapphire, Volition Obsidian, Olivett, now Astral Olivett, HSG came into this season as a relative unknown, a relative question mark. But out of all the kind of question mark teams, the teams that we weren't really so sure of at the start of the season, they have been the most noteworthy, and they have a chance to take that top seed. The top seed will get a bye into the semifinals. It is a 7-team league, so winner will get that bye. I need these teams. There's like 5 teams. Again, I told this in the pre-show. There's 5 teams fighting for it, but both these teams are highly in contention. The winner of this again takes that top speed, and really has, and can create their own destiny in week 7, the real true week where we determine everything. So Nalo looking across, but Rich 4 trying to get through. So Nalo keeping it in the corner. Olivett's starting to slow down a little bit in this game, and I think it's for the better. You're seeing them take more time with these 50s, these dribbles, really look for each other. Not so frenetic like the usual Olivett. I think they know that going against a team like HSG, that playstyle may not work as well. Trying to be a little more picky in what plays they go for.
My, that was almost a beautiful give and go pass. Well, here comes Koba looking for a shot opportunity. Past one defender, S-Class Wizard with a stuff. But Bridge 4's up.
Oh! Bob just pre-jumped him out of Narnia. I don't know if he jumped up for that sole reason. If he did, he's got the mind of a wizard. And he has a wizard on his team. I can't believe that. S-Class Wizard now into the corner. Can't go. It's in front for Kaiba. On solo. Shot is just off target. Heady Scarf Gang, we're that little bit away from tying this one up. Last game, they were plagued by when they were a goal down. A 2-1 deficit as well, by the way. So, seeing some similarities here. Are they going to once again have those issues? Because all of it, they just get that early lead, and then they kind of turtle up on defense, and they play a play style that, unlike Olivett, Astral Olivett, it's working here. It's a defensive play style, and it's just making sure Heady Scarf Gang don't get chances against them. And it's working for them. They've cut off so many of these opportunities, but now Kaiba in front, off the crossbar, Heady Scarf Gang. They're so close to tying this one up.
Kaiba is trying to get it together. He's a dangerous shooter if you give him opportunity, and he is attempting. The crossbar is just winning the game right now. Nice stuff from Omnibomb.
Yeah, Bob with that save. S-Class Wizard trying to chase down Kaiba. Dunks him as well. Final 30 seconds. HSG need to score. Kaiba out. Solonalo will deflect it midfield. Olivett. They're going to hold back. None of them are rushing this play. Here comes S-Class Wizard finally to challenge it. And look at this from him. He's waiting. He's letting Kaiba challenge him first. Oh, that might have just wasted enough time here for Olivett to take this win. All they need is the ball to hit the ground. Koba up. They have to take it the entire length of the field. Kaiba, S-Class Wizard, trying to find a dropping point. Kaiba can't keep it up any longer. Astral, Olivett are leading in the series 2-0. You called it Game 5. Well, to get there, Heady Scarf Gang now have to look towards a reverse sweep.
If there's a team that can do it, it's them. They've done it before in the season. Oh man, dude. Some of these plays have been absolutely insane. Kaiba is just putting them on target, but just wide, man. The bar stuffed him 2 or 3 times, I believe. I mean, phew.
Yeah, but to say that,
Ford just coming in, warming up. I mean, he could be dangerous here coming in the next one as well.
Yeah, just to add on to that, his Scarf Game only has 4 shots this game. A very low number, but every single one of them was felt on the Olivett side. If Heady Scarf Game is able to just make their accuracy just a little bit better, maybe even shoot a little bit more, they could really make some difficulties for Astral Olivett, because Olivett's waiting for these shots. They're not challenging Heady Scarf Game. They're not playing as proactive. They're playing reactive. They're letting Heady Scarf Game do it, what Heady Scarf Game wants. And if Heady Scarf Game can kind of improve on that offensive morale, that offensive ability they have, this could become a huge detriment for Astral Olivett. But right now, not punished on it. Olivett are 1 game away from a win this week. What a surprise it would be if they were able to sweep out Heady Scarf Gang and to take that top spot. What a storyline.
It would be a surprise.
It would be. It would be a surprise to me. It'd be a surprise to you. I'm sure a surprise to even Astral Olivett, who is playing right now in the lead. They're up 2-0 in this series. They need 1 more game, but Game 3 is always the most difficult for teams trying to make a sweep. Because at this point, Heady Scarf Gang knows what Olivett wants. Now they can make those changes to it.
And it's now about, can they readjust back to the adjustment that HSG is going to throw at them. And sometimes teams struggle with that. So we will see HSG with their backs against the wall here, just off on some of their accuracy, and we'd love to see them start connecting. You know me, I love seeing Game 5 overtime, so let me see it, HSG.
TommyBuckets trying to command HSG here to take Game 5. But really for HSG, early game has been absolutely horrendous for them. It's been the reason they've lost these last 2 games. Giving up 2 goals last game before scoring 1 themselves. And in Game 1, it was the exact same story. 2 goals. They've never been able to score first in a game just yet. HSG, you think they have to score first here to really give themselves the best opportunity. Bridge 4, tap down in front, follow from Baltier, and that was an open net for him. It wasn't an easy open net, to say the least, but it was one that Baltier really should be putting on target. Heady Scarf Gang don't get a lot of chances like that. They need to utilize them.
Man, I thought that one was going to float through. Had the right bounce. Baltier up for the save. Sees Kaiba at midfield. A nice little give and go action from him. Wins the 50. It's out in front of the net, but eaten up by Omnibomb. Man, what a transition.
Yeah, Baba, I'm still trying to get one on Kaiba. S-Class Wizard. And I hit this one directed to the corner. HSG. It seems like right now they're really falling left and right. Playing a lot of crossing their box, really. As this ball continues to go to the side walls. You don't see a lot of in-the-middle play, but HSG up, saved here by S-Class Wizard. He can follow up himself. Bridge 4 will win the 50, but it is in field for Bomb! And S-Class Wizard gets the redirect! Olivett once again with the early momentous pressure.
Wow, the passing once again, man. I'm telling you, it's hard to play against. These guys do it so efficiently. And
if he didn't get that touch, that would not have been a goal. S-Class Wizard has eyes on the back of his head. Bob in front. S-Class Wizard again trying to continue to get more goals. Olivett have the lead that they need. All they need to do is hold it, but with S class, with HSG always it has have not having not been shut out yet this game, this series, any of these games, you would think that Olivett should really go for another goal. So I think that's what we're gonna see from Olivett. More offense. Baltier in front. Here comes Kaiba off the back wall. Follow up from Bridge 4, not there. HSG still waiting. Bridge 4 into the corner. Solonalo will touch. Bridge 4 staying close. Gonna force Solonalo to clear. Kaiba. Backflip off the back wall. As Wizard reads, but Kaiba infield. Bob Bomb's there to save. HSG, they're knocking here. They're asking questions. Oliver has been able to answer every single one so far, but when does that defensive wall break? Kaiba to S-Class Wizard. A double commit, but it's still saved away. TommyBuckets. This defense from Olivett, they've been rotating very well, but do you see any weaknesses from them that you think HSG might be able to take advantage of?
They don't seem to be challenging them early, and they're winning the midfield play. Maybe if they get a little softer touch, try to control it just a little bit more, and set up a little team play, I think they can crack through that defense. But right now, they're winning midfield, and they're just sending it straight back off into the corner. And Astral Olivett are getting some easy saves on the ball, and it hasn't really been threatening yet.
Well, as you say that, Baltier with a massive dunk. Backfield was open for a moment. Bridge forward to come in and shoot it. But the Bob Bomb wins. Solonalo. In a way, Olivett's only 90 seconds away from winning the series. Just need to hold on here for dear life. HSG is not going to make it easy for them. They want to be competitive in this series. Right now, Olivett have prevented them from really doing so. The game has been a 1-goal difference. Really speaks to the competitive nature of these teams, but right now, HSG, the one that needs to respond, the one that needs to score. As Baltier putting one long, Solonalo's waiting to save it. A bounce favorably. Kaiba backflips. Solonalo towards the orange. A double commit from Olivett. Heady Scarfkin can take advantage. Baltier off his back wall. Controlled touch. Gonna get it away. S-Class switches the challenge early. Any goal here for Olivett could be what does in this this run from HSG. HSG, again, they're running, but they just need to kind of get to themselves to a sprint here. Bob Bomb controls.
Yeah, they're putting pressure on, but nothing too dangerous yet. Again, I think they need to rely on a little bit of passing and some team communication here, and they've been close. So they just got to be able to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and Bridge 4, talk about him, has 0 shots this game for a player that we've touted as being one of the best in this series for offense. Has been completely silenced by all of its defense. Final seconds. Baltier looking in front. Kaiba off the corner. Demo in front as well. Follow up from Kaiba. Last seconds. Where's the shot? It's not gonna come. Astral Olivett win it. The ball was on their line, but they just waited, and no challenge came through. A 3-0 sweep for Olivett. The result that none of us expected, but that all of it will enjoy.
Oh my, dude. I mean, a 3-0 sweep, but what a fucking series.
Oh my goodness. All right, TommyBuckets.
Wow.
All right then, man. This stream is now PG. This is now a PG stream, ladies and gentlemen. TommyBuckets. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
TommyBuckets, let's just make a rule. You only get one of those a stream, so you've already used it up.
Right. I used it.
you used up the one F-bomb. I didn't even think I'd have to make that rule. But here we are. And that's probably the best reaction you could have had for this series. A 3-0 sweep.
I am blown away. These guys played well.
Yeah, all of it was just, they totaled up on defense, and HSG could not break through, no matter what happened.
That was crazy. I mean, to be honest, we see Astral Olivett take so many shots. Maybe that's something HSG was expecting, and they kind of laid off a little bit, and it just maybe threw them off. I saw a lot more defense from Astral Olivett than normal, and goodness, man, that was a really good series. Close. I mean, I know the 3-0 sweep, but man.
But now let's get an interview with Solonalo. He wants the interview here for his team. And we're gonna talk to him because, again, with how the matches are lining up, this is gonna be an exciting week 7.
Absolutely. How you feeling, Solonalo? A big important win in the first season.
Yeah, it's a big win there. I'm gonna be honest, that team was really good. We were on the back ropes a couple times. So, but we're very happy to come out with that win and keep moving on.
Yeah, and specifically
Yeah.
game 2 was probably your most difficult to pull off. Hey, Scarf Gang, they scored on you, and then they added so much pressure. How did your team not crumble? Because everybody there had to make some really important plays on defense just to make sure you get that. Just make sure you squeak open that win because hey, Scarf Gang was knocking.
Yeah, they were definitely headstrong on their offense, but I'm gonna be honest, it took a lot of communication and a little bit of luck to pull through. And yeah, like I said, it was that game 3. They were itching to score there at the last second, and good lord, we were freaking out, but got lucky, like I said, and ball hit the ground.
Yeah, and to add to that, I believe the statistic is that Bridgeford has scored 0 goals that series. I don't believe he scored even once that series.
Yeah,
I
we
know in the
were
last
shut
game he
down the number
yeah,
one scorer.
you shot the
yeah.
number one offensive player in this season. Take me through what does that for your team?
It feels good to know we shut down one of the best players in the league. We definitely made sure to focus on Bridge 4. We saw kind of their stats and just started focusing on who was who. And but like I said, I mean, they played a tough game, and it could easily have gone 3-0 where we're losing just as quickly. So
Right.
we're lucky to come out 3-0, but if we play again, it's going to be game 5.
I can't wait, man. That was a heck of a match. You guys definitely put on a showing for us. It was a
Yeah,
highly energized and excited match. I mean, I know I was. And man, dude, much appreciated, dude. You guys put on a killer show. So,
yeah, and I do want to ask this to you, Salanala, because your season's not done just yet. Next week, I believe that you play Sapphire, Vision Sapphire, and if Sapphire gets a win between you and them, that series might determine the literal number one seed. Literally, this series. This series we were talking about number one seed implications. Where if your team wins, we could see a scenario where you and Sapphire are both fighting in week 7 for that number one spot. Take me through what you kind of have, like what plans you have in store to prepare for that week, because
Uh,
it's going to be even bigger than this one, and I'm surprised I'm even saying that.
yeah, we've kept our eyes on Sapphire. They're the one team that beat Obsidian. Uh, Obsidian beat us, so we know how good Sapphire can be. I know a lot of people say that was an upset, but regardless, Sapphire beat Obsidian, so they're legit somehow. You know what I mean?
Sapphire's
So,
three
right.
one.
but we're gonna keep playing our game. We're gonna keep doing. I mean, we can shut down defense, and then we can keep going hot on offense. We'll figure out the gameplay from there when we see it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Again, any last words, TommyBuckets, that you want to say to to Solonolo and Astral, all of it?
Dude, I just don't have any. Dude, congratulations, man. I mean, for real, I was expecting a game 5, and you guys absolutely shut down a killer shot caller in the league, and I am blown away. I mean, congratulations to HSG too. I want y'all to know, like, those were some crazy matches, man. The crossbar did you a favor on a few ones, and Astral Olivett learned to lock it down, and which was something crazy that I've never seen from you guys, man. You take so many shots that I think people forget that there's a defense, dude. And it was on display tonight. So congratulations.
No, yeah, really appreciate it.
Of
Of course,
course.
have an amazing evening, Astral Olivet Solonolo, and congratulations on your win tonight. But before anything happens, actually, Solonolo, before I say that, do you have any shoutouts you want to say on the stream before you actually do leave?
Yeah. Quick shout outs. Shout out to everybody who's watching from Astral. We appreciate all the support. Shout out to the teammates for carrying me through the tough times. And shout out to Seema Prust. He's technically a sub, but he's been coaching for us. He told us that the way to really win this game was to put the round thing into the rectangle, and that's what we did. So Seema Prust, shout out.
All the shouts are great. Now you can go, Solonolo. Have an amazing evening. But TommyBuckets, from me and you, I think that ends the match tonight. It was a quick one, but that it really changes the whole playoff structure. Tell me what changes after that series.
It's going to be an uphill battle for HSG. I think in order for them to really get back up there, they're going to need some upsets to happen the rest of the week and next week. But like I said, every team does make the playoffs. I think if these guys see each other again in the playoffs, we're going to see another spectacular match. They did get 3-0'd, but I mean, a 1 point differential in each match is pretty remarkable. The defense from Astral Olivett, I was excited to see. I saw so much offense so far this season. It was really nice to see them kind of hold strong and shut down Bridgeport. I definitely expected him to have a little bit more presence, and he did. I mean, he took shots. It just they weren't falling. Astral Olivett was there, so uh, it definitely makes me think that the playoffs are just going to be even more stronger.
Yeah, and to add to this again, talk to us about the next matches coming up, and because I want to hear about the importance of it. Who is Volition's Obsidian going to play? Who is HSG going to play? Who's Astral Olivett going to play? Who's Volition Sapphire going to play? And who is Northern Aspect Esports going to play? Coming up in these next couple of days or in the next week or so to really determine. Because I know I've talked about Astral Olivett versus Volition Sapphire as being the match that could determine that top seed, but gotta look at Volition Obsidian as a team that could do it as well. Because if Volition Sapphire win their next series, they'll be going 4-1, meaning we will have a team that goes 5-1 and that will make it through. For Volition Obsidian, they now need to be the biggest Volition Sapphire demons because they need to hope that the next matchup against Volition Sapphire, who is, I believe, McNasty's, as the next team to play them.
Yep, they got.
They need to be the biggest McNasty's
Obsidian's
fans ever. They need to be the biggest McNasty's fans ever. Because if Volition Sapphire wins, Volition Obsidian now will not have a chance of making that top seed. Their game differential is 27%, tied for the lowest in the league. Nope, sorry, tied for second lowest in the league with Truth, who is currently 0-5. So for Obsidian, it's going to be,
man. If there's a team that can have an upset, dude, don't sleep on McNasty's.
Yeah, don't.
Their matches have been close. Blues is also one of the top shooters in the league, and I'm telling you, I think we see a whole new McNasty's in the playoffs. I think they lock in, and we could see them really putting on a show on a couple of these squads. So it's not Sapphire's walking into what could be a trap. You know what I mean? You come in, that horse, the Vikings sent the horse in or whatever it was, and then all the guys were inside of it.
The Vikings
The
didn't send in
Trojan horse?
The Trojan horse was not sent in by the Vikings, my friend. What? That was sent in by the Trojans.
Trojan horse, I apologize. Yes.
It's literally named
It could
after
be
them.
the Trojan horse of the league, man. So they definitely got some talent over there. But Sapphire, Groovy Cat, and them are dangerous. They did beat Obsidian once before, so it's definitely a team that can take down.
Let me say this again. It was actually, the Greeks sent in the Trojan horse. They sent it to the Trojans. There we go. Now, some history for all of you. I did just use Google. Continue what you're saying.
But I think Sapphire's definitely got a team behind them that can win out the season. So anybody coming in their way is going to have a hard one. But, along the way, like I said, McNasty's have a team. They're definitely the team that can get upsets and beat some of these teams that might think that they're coming in for an easy stroll. And if they sleep on them enough, McNasty's have been in some close battles. So
but again, if Volition Sapphire does beat McNasty's, one of either Astral Olivett or Volition Sapphire will be your top seed. Think about how exciting that will be. Because now HSG is 3-2. Again, HSG and Sun Obsidian and even Northern Aspect. I think for Northern Aspect, it seems like hope for them is kind of lost. They're just trying to see where they end up in the rest of the season. But really, it's a fight for these for the teams that are left over. Again, Northern Aspect, I think they still have a chance. I think they still technically have a chance. They just have to win all their matches.
They have a chance, but it's
pretty strongly as well.
The hardest team.
Yeah, they play some really difficult opponents, so they have a chance. But you're going to be looking to see Astral Olivett versus Volition Sapphire. If Volition Sapphire wins against McNasty's, one of Astral Olivett and Volition Sapphire is going to take that first seed. And of course, sometimes the script just writes itself.
Right, absolutely. And I think these last couple of weeks are going to make the playoffs even more exciting. It's going to make some crazy matchups. Yeah, but with that said, I think we're going to end the stream here. But TommyBuckets, any last words you want to say to any of the people still watching here the stream? Any sort of sign-offs for anybody? I'm glad you guys all came here, showed some love to the other caster in League Sport EFC. He's a great guy. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you being here and contributing to the league. It does mean a lot. As far as you guys watching, thank you for coming out. I hope it was everything you had or were expecting. Solonalo, shout out to you, man. I see you in chat. HSG, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody that participates. And that's it for me.
Yeah, we're gonna end the stream here. Thank you all so much for joining. As we get our raid going here, we're gonna be raiding another Rocket League streamer soon. But again, thank you all so much for joining. Have an amazing evening. Some great Bucket League action coming up in the next couple of days. TommyBuckets, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Have an amazing evening, everybody.